Hi, this is Chris Tilder with a release technique. Now, do you have what seems like a recurring negative situation showing up in your life? Like there's an area that you're looking to be successful in, and every single time you're at the threshold of being successful, you seem to just sabotage yourself. And this happens again and again and again. Or maybe it's in the form of a negative person in your life. Say, for example, somebody at work, and they're giving you a hard time. And even if they move on, it seems like somebody just steps in and fulfills this role of giving you a hard time. And this goes on and on. Or it could even be a relationship. And so you're in a relationship with somebody, and there's an unhealthy dynamic going on. So you decide to leave the relationship, and you meet somebody new, somebody completely different. And that same dynamic shows up again. Now, where did it come from? Where did all of these patterns, recurring situations come from? And what can we do about it? Well, one thing we can do is blame that external force, that situation or that person out there. Or we can look at the common denominator. It's me that's causing this to happen again and again. It's something inside. Now, when you take responsibility, you open yourself up to being in control of your life, as opposed to being a victim of exterior circumstances that just seem to be happening again and again. So that's got to tell you something. Now, all of these things that are happening again, they're basically programs. And if it's inside of you, at some point in your life, you programmed it to happen. So maybe it was a decision that you made out of fear, out of frustration, or just a snap decision. You weren't discriminating at one point in your life. You didn't have the resources to really handle something negative in your life. And you made a decision and you set in this program. Now, any program is something that, even in a split second, was a conscious decision. But at one point, it just started to unconsciously run, and it's been running your life. Now, I'll show you how you can see that this is inside of you and how you can erase it. Now, if you're really serious about erasing all of these programs, recurring negative situations, taking them and just wiping the whole slate clean, you can join us at an amazing event that's all about cleaning up the past and erasing these programs. It's called the Mind Freedom Retreat, and it's a 7-day event that's happening in Vail, Colorado, starting on November 7th. Now click the link below and check it out. This is a super powerful event, probably one of the most powerful releasing events that we hold. So check it out and join us. Now, let's take a look at a recurring situation in your life. Now, chances are you've been trying to figure out what to do about this. And you've been asking your mind for an answer. Now, your mind is the source of this program that's running anyway. And chances are, since you don't have an answer, there is none in your mind. Otherwise, you would have had it already. But you've been asking it again and again. How do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? And this mind has been sending you here, there, everywhere, looking for an answer. And the only answer that the mind really has to give you is to beat yourself up. Now take a look to see if that isn't true. See, this is our best friend, the mind. It says, anytime you don't know what to do, just ask me and I'll help you find an answer. And it doesn't. But what does it say? Well, you haven't been able to figure it out. Here's my advice. Beat yourself up. Now, how does it help you to beat yourself up? And who's doing it? Now, don't go blaming your mind. You're the one who's listening to that advice and carrying it out. So you're the one who's in the driver's seat. You've always have been in the driver's seat. Now, if you're doing it and it doesn't help you, now you can make a decision. You could be positive and love yourself, or you could be negative and beat yourself up. What do you decide? Well, I'm assuming that you're deciding to be positive. So could you let go of disapproving of yourself? And could you let go disapproving of yourself even more? And could you let go disapproving of yourself even more? And could you let go disapproving of yourself even more? And could you let go disapproving of yourself even more? And even more? And could you let go disapproving of yourself even more? And even more? It's just a decision. Now you can leave it up to your mind, your ego, that'll tell you to beat yourself up. Or you can decide to show up, be here in the moment, and make a decision to let go of disapproving of yourself. Because there's nobody here doing it but you. So could you let go of disapproving of yourself some more? And a little bit more. And even more. And even more. And even more. And even more. And notice how you feel. Now, could you give yourself some approval? Just because positive doesn't hurt anything. And could you give yourself some more approval? And could you give yourself even more approval? And even more. 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 Now, see if you're disapproving of that situation in your life. How does it help you to disapprove of that? Is that going to fix the situation by beating it up? And does it feel good when you do that? And who's doing it? Again, it's you. So could you let go of disapproving of the situation? Don't do it for any other reason than doing it for you, because it feels good to let it go. Could you let go of disapproving of the situation? And more. And even more. And even more. And even more. And could you give it some approval? Again, what does positive hurt at all? Nothing. So could you just give it some approval? And again, don't do it for the situation. Do it for you. Could you give it some approval? And could you give it some more approval? And even more. And even more. And even more. And could you give it even more approval? And even more. And even more. Notice how you feel. See, you're stepping out of the automatic behaviors, the repetitive patterns, the moment you decide to show up. And when you take a step into positive, you elevate yourself above the mind, above all of the patterns, above the negativity, and you truly experience that you're the boss. Now, everything in life is a decision. We decide to be rich, we decide to be poor. We decide to be happy, we decide to be miserable. It's always up to you. It's always been up to you. So take yourself off of automatic, step up, and start demonstrating what you really want in life. Click that link below and join us at the Mind Freedom Retreat. It'll be a huge positive experience that will totally change your life forever.